I can say it now because I've finally escaped the Sixers series with the Brooklyn Nets. 4-0 sweep. First time the Sixers have swept a team in a 4-0 series since 1985. 1985. It's been nearly 40 years since the Sixers have swept a team in 4 games. We did sweep a team in 3 games in 1991, but that's 3 games. That's different. 4-game series, 1985. We finally escaped. But I feel like I can finally talk about all these injuries to these stars that we've had so far. And all I can say is I really hate injuries. They truly, truly suck. Obviously, this is coming from Joel Embiid going down with a knee sprain in Game 3 and not playing in Game 4 against the Brooklyn Nets. I was like, oh my goodness, you can't be doing this to me right now. I just needed one healthy playoff run for the Philadelphia 76ers. We haven't made it out the second round, and it feels like forever. I think since 2001, we haven't made it out the second round, and that's the year we went to the finals. We haven't been out of the second round since. So I needed Joel Embiid, James Harden, and the rest of this team to be healthy for a playoff run, especially going up against probably Boston in the second round, a team that has beaten us routinely during the regular season and the playoffs. We need both of them. And as soon as I saw the news, I was like, oh my goodness, don't do this to me now. Don't do this to me now. And then Doc Rivers went on a press conference and said he doesn't know when he's going to come back. And I was like, oh God, please, 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 please don't do this to me. And then we're going to go play Brooklyn in Game 4 today. And I'm like, oh my God, please don't lose. Please don't lose. Please do not lose. Luckily, we pulled out with the win. So I feel like I can talk about all these injuries to these stars. Getting Joel Embiid out of the way. Of course, we have so many other injuries to so many other stars in the league right now. Ja Morant is out with a hand injury. Giannis is out with a back. Tyler Hero right now is out with a hand. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are both out right now. They're not playing. It's just sad to see. It's really sad to see because you want to see all your stars healthy going into a playoff run, especially when you're trying to make a deep playoff run. And these players are on really good teams. Giannis, the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, on the Milwaukee Bucks. You know, you want to see him playing. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, the 2 stars of LA who we haven't seen have a real playoff run since really the bubble. We haven't seen them really play together since the bubble. And they're not playing right now. Giannis, like I said, out with the back. Ja Morant on the Memphis Grizzlies, the star of the team. Some people will say, yeah, the Memphis Grizzlies, they'll be fine without Ja. They are not fine without Ja. They need Ja Morant playing in order to make a deep playoff run, especially going into the savvy veteran Lakers team. They might lose in the first round. I don't really have some long analysis about all these injuries and what these teams will really look like outside of these injuries. Obviously, we know Milwaukee playing Miami right now. They play today. You'll get a recap of all the games today, later today. The games from yesterday are up on my website. I did make a video about those, but we will get a recap for those later. But Milwaukee playing Miami right now, they'll be just fine probably without Giannis. They won Game 2 without Giannis. The Bucks are still a really deep team, and I would probably take the Bucks without Giannis to beat Miami. Maybe in the next 4 or 3 games, honestly, they could win all 3 of the next games and gentlemen sweep them. As for Memphis, they're in trouble. They could honestly really lose to Los Angeles. They had a poor performance in Game 2 against the Grizzlies, but they're heading back to LA, and they're going to play their first home playoff game with fans since 2013, I believe, and LA is going to be loud. You know, all the stars are going to show up. It's going to be crazy in LA. They could easily win the next 2 games if Ja Morant is not playing. So Memphis needs to see if they can get him back as soon as possible, because without Ja, they don't really have a chance in my eyes. Tyler Hero being out sucks to see. They probably would have lost if he was playing anyways. Don't really have that much to say about that. And of course, the Clippers, they played a great game against the Suns last night. A great game. They only lost by 5 points. Norman Powell had 42 points. 42 points. Russell Westbrook had 30 points and a near triple-double. This is 2 nights ago, and we're thinking, okay, well, if they had Kawhi and PG out there, they could really be giving the Suns a run for their money. Like, it just sucks to see. You want to see all the stars showing up for the teams and pushing their teams against these other great teams in the playoffs. This is the time to do it, and they just haven't been healthy so far. Now, I have no doubts, honestly, that Joel and Giannis will come back. Players like those, they'll come back and they'll fight for their teams. Kawhi and PG, I don't know if they'll make it out the first round now because they're not playing, and they are playing the Suns. They are a great team, so we don't know about them. So we'll see. And, of course, Ja Morant, I don't know if they'll make it out the first round either, so who knows if we'll see Ja Morant again this playoffs. But players like Joel and Giannis, I think we'll see definitely again. Joel just making it to the second round. The Sixers, oh my God, they swept Brooklyn. I can't get that out of my head. They swept Brooklyn, guys. They swept Brooklyn. So happy, so happy. But players like Giannis, he'll be back, especially for a second round series where they need him against possibly New York or Cleveland. They'll need Giannis in order to win that series, so I think he'll be back for that. It just sucks to see, man. I just really hope all these guys are okay. They can play to their fullest potential in these playoffs, and that we get these stars back.